Hi, I'm Chris Smith, the founder of Property Investment Contacts. For those investors or people watching this video that are not already aware, we source and package up property investment deals right across the UK, and we also offer our management services as well. We're very close to approaching the month of April, so it's time to get into our hot property picks for April. We've had a good few deals that have come in this week, so I wouldn't want people to miss out on them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. Thank you. Property number one for April. This particular property is a three bed, three bath, freehold, semi detached. Yes, quite a mouthful. Semi detached house that's situated in the town of Ripley. If you're not too sure where Ripley is, it's a town that's situated on the outskirts of Derby city centre, with close commute as well to Nottingham city centre. So the property itself is 10% below market value, and it's priced at £230,000. It is open to cash buyers, and it's also open to people who want to mortgage as well. So great on that front. But the reason we've picked this particular unit out is because of the undersupply of housing in this particular area. Now, if you was to look at property price increases, historic data shows a solid 7% growth without fail over the last 6 years, even on track for this year for another 7% growth. So, regardless of mortgage rates, it's still within the affordable market for the likes of first time buyers and home buyers. One of the main reasons of the undersupply of houses and price growth within this area is again because of the job growth and job supply. Some of the big employees in this area are the likes of Toyota, Rolls Royce, and it also has got the aerospace engineering company as well that do offer a lot of jobs within this area. So this particular deal, the reason I picked this one out is because of the financials. It's a particular property that you can earn you double figures if you was to rent this out on a per week room share basis. If some of you are not aware, if you look at websites such as houseshare.com or roomshare.com, as you can see, the rates vary from £150 a week to rent upwards of £200 a week to rent a room in this particular area. It just shows you the level of undersupply. And we've got three properties in total, so all of them three bed, three baths at the same price. Two of them of which that have only come on the market this week have rented straight away. For those ones that are already tenanted, you can expect a 5.7% yield on those, and we've got one of them, only one that is vacant at the moment. Now, with this one that's vacant, you can pretty much move straight onto HouseShare, advertise it on a HouseShare, and get it rented out. 175 would be a fair price per week, which would bring you up your yield up to around 11%. Now, an HMO license isn't required for three bed property. It's only when you start letting out, for example, 4, 5 tenants with a 4, 5 bed house is when you would require that license. So, yes, on paper, it's a very simple investment, a three bed, semi detached house that will give you solid price growth over the foreseeable future. However, there is a market here for you to do house share and get it rented out to three separate tenants in three different rooms because it's quite a large property as well. We don't find it to be on the market long. If you even was to do that, most house shares in this area get snapped up immediately, even with just long-term tenants. If you wasn't to do house share, again, would rent out immediately. So the pictures you'll see here on this clip as well are pictures from these particular properties. One obviously being the vacant one. The question I've been getting from investors with this one, it just recently completed. So we literally got it today, and it's with ourselves today. That's the reason I've included it in this clip, just so you don't miss out on it. But as you can see from the pictures, it's brand new, so it will come with all the warranties that new builds provide, and it will come fitted with white goods as well. So we're going to get into our second hot pick property for the month of April. For those people watching, I do apologise about my throat. It is quite sore today, so I do hope you can understand me. But yeah, getting straight on with it, this particular property is situated in Anglesey in North Wales. The town itself is called Ross Niger. For those people watching this video that are not aware, we actually sold this site. It was a block of 10 apartments that were being refurbed back in 2021. It completed in early 2022, and we've been managing it ever since on our holiday let model. For those, it was quite popular for local investors who know the area quite well, and it was popular for our serviced accommodation investors that use us across the UK. So this particular property is a two-bedroom, one-bathroom, ground floor apartment. It does come with its own entrance to the apartment, and it comes with parking outside of the property. That's all included within the price. This one was a little bit unique in terms of that the actual owners who own an apartment in this do own part of the freehold as well, which gives investors full control in terms of block management and control over the maintenance costs, which include, of course, the service charges, and the ground rents are peppercorn, so there's no ground rents as such to be paid. So the lease is quite flexible as well. It's a decent lease that allows for short-term lets. Just to confirm, of course, we've been managing it now for over 12 months. Now, Ross itself is a very popular area for holiday goers. I mean, I've got 4 children myself. I've been to Ross. It's a very popular holiday destination for young families and young professionals as well, or couples. It's literally a 5 minute walk from the apartment, and you're on the beach. I actually did a video when the properties were off plan, being under construction. I did a video literally walking from the apartment to the beach in less than under 5 minutes. All close amenities as well, such as shops, restaurants, bars. But it's a well sought after area, especially for local investors. That if you know the area well with Ross, you'll know that as soon as the property comes on the market, though, whether it's for rent or whether it's for sale, they pretty much get snapped up immediately. So if you do look on Rightmove and properties sold, you'll notice that yourself as well in terms of when it was advertised and when they were sold. Now, this particular property, the seller is looking to get into development now, so he's looking to free up a bit of cash. We've been running it, as I mentioned, for over 12 months on our holiday let package, so we can get into the figures. Now, what I will say is the current investor has been using it a lot for personal use, so we can increase the occupancy rates should investors not use it for personal use. So across the last 12 months, we've achieved a 65% occupancy on this particular apartment on holiday lets. It roughly lets out for £175 a night, which is the average nightly rate. Of course, in peak seasons, Easter, which we're approaching now, in summer, you can expect over 200 up to £250 per night. So based on 65% occupancy, let's say you do use it for personal use. I know I would. You're going to achieve around £1,900 per calendar month. That's what this investor's been earning every single month, around that sort of figure, £1,900 after all running costs. Our management fees, of course, taken out of that. But because we've got other apartments there and that we run on holiday lets, it's been quite an easy management for ourselves. But yeah, the seller wants £310,000 for this particular apartment. If you do your local comparables on other apartments, it's a very good price that for a 2 bed, 1 bath apartment. It's quite a good size as well, this apartment. And of course, it will come fully furnished. So for those investors that are interested in something that complete, already managed by ourselves, especially on the short term lets holiday let package, it's not really going to be going for serviced accommodation in this area. It's purely going to be holiday lets. This probably would be the perfect deal for you. As I mentioned, I've done a video of the area whilst it was off plan. That's on YouTube as well. I can send you the link for that, just so you can see me walking from the apartment to the beach and get an idea of the area. So yeah, hopefully you understood that with my sore throat. But yeah, let's move on to the next option. So, getting into our third hot pick property for the month of April. A very simple, straightforward investment, this one. It's a ground floor, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment with its own outside area, terrace area. If you're looking at the floor plans and pictures, there are a few ideas with this, for example, including a hot tub on the outside of the apartment, which would increase your nightly rates on serviced accommodation. Now, we already manage properties in this particular area of Bristol. The reason being is that our main contractors for the likes of Airbus, who we use quite a lot in North Wales and North West, and the likes of Ministry of Defence as well. We have received a few bookings recently through the likes of NHS, but you can expect a net yield of around 9-10% on the price of £190,000 is what the sellers are looking for. Now, the property is currently tenanted. It has been tenanted since the apartment was complete 2 years ago, and it's achieving £750 per calendar month. Now, in my view, this is a very low rental income. So what I would be looking to doing is dropping in notice with the tenant, giving them 2 months' notice. For those investors that are not aware, it's 2 months' notice now, not 1 month. Vacating the property and switching across to our serviced accommodation management model. Now we're managing these ourselves. There's no third party involved. Because of our big contractors, we know there's a high demand from the likes of Airbus and the Ministry of Defence for these particular apartments. The apartment itself, as I mentioned, £190,000. However, there is a cash incentive of £10,000 off that price should you purchase it with cash. It is a property that is open to mortgage buyers. We've had people buy through mortgages on these particular apartments. But since the seller, which is the developer, has had it kept hold of it now for 2 years with the rental income it's been achieving, he's happy to move it on with a 10 grand off the price for cash buyers. So yeah, for us, it's a very, as I mentioned, a straightforward 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, ground floor apartment. Again, with its outside terrace area, which is quite nice to come with the apartment. For example, if you do think people who smoke as well, they have got the outside terraced area to do that and not in the apartment. That's one thing that we do keep our eye on as well. And the apartment comes with parking. Very close connection to Bristol, so I would expect a lot of local businesses as well, which we are tending to find now using our apartments as well for when they're relocating staff from the north down to the south. So a great property to get involved in a good area. The southwest is quite a desirable area and part of the UK. But yeah, £190,000 is the full price, comes with parking. But of course, you can get that 10 grand off should you purchase it with cash. So on most of my videos, at the end, I conclude with a property deal I call a quick fire property deal, which I believe is going to be gone in the next day or two, or potentially this week. Now, this particular apartment is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment situated in the city centre of Preston. A very cheap price, £120,000 is what the seller is looking for. However, the seller is in financial difficulty, and I do believe for a cash offer, I do think he'll take a deal, maybe around the 110, £115,000 mark. But again, it's something I've not tested the water on yet. So hopefully we can test that with a cash buyer that comes in and shift that property on. Now, we already manage serviced accommodation apartments across Preston. This particular apartment is ready to go. It's already vacant and it comes fully furnished as well. We did request the seller to leave it vacant just so we can move our investor in and move straight onto the serviced accommodation model. Now, the returns to expect on this apartment, if you base it on £120,000 purchase price of around 11% net after all costs, is what you would expect to achieve. Of course, if you get buying with a mortgage, we're not too sure what interest rate you're going to get quoted. So you've got to factor that in and deduct that off the 11%. But for a cash buyer, over £1,000 a month is what you're going to be profiting per month. All apartments we've got in Preston are achieving over 75% occupancy on our serviced accommodation model. Our main contract providers for serviced accommodation, the university itself, UCLAN, which is the Central University of Lancashire, they accommodate well over 36,000 students per year. An interesting fact about this as well, that over 65% of those students that graduate at Preston will reside in the city and find full-time jobs. So rents are quite high as well. Even traditional standard rents, even for a 1 bed, you could probably squeeze £750, £800 per calendar month. Especially for this one, you could probably push 850 with it being fully furnished. But of course, what I would probably recommend is moving straight onto serviced accommodation, allowing ourselves to manage it for you, because you can easily expect over £1,000 profit per calendar month. As I mentioned, another contractor that we use in Preston quite heavily is the NHS, so doctors, nurses, even practice nurses that use our serviced accommodation apartments for a couple of months at a time, paying a nightly rate of roughly £90 a night is what to expect in Preston. And Fox Biscuits, for those that like Fox Biscuits or have enjoyed a Fox Biscuits, they have got a factory in Preston. We've had a couple of employees that have relocated to the north in Fox Biscuits or working in Fox Biscuits that have been using our service apartments again. Now, there is a bigger plan with Preston, a serviced accommodation. We manage quite a lot there. We know there's a high demand there. So we do hope to take more on. It's very rough at the moment in terms of finding off-plan developments. There's not many coming online, especially the ones that allow for short-term lets within the lease. But this particular apartment is a very simple £120,000 apartment, which I believe they'll do a deal on, especially with the seller if we get a cash buyer in. So, if you're interested in any of the options that I've showcased on this video, please do get in touch. Probably best by email. My email is chris.smith@propertyinvestmentcontact.com. If you please send me your contact information, including the option that you're interested in, I will get all the information pack sent across to you, including the financials and other information for you to do your own due diligence and own research before coming to a decision. Of course, I'm happy to help on email as well, should you have any questions on either of the options as well. So yes, hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do click a like and subscribe. I do launch these videos every single month, including different property deals from across the country, as well as other educational videos as well, and educating especially first-time investors on different strategies and different models within the UK property market. So yeah, thank you and speak soon.